Hi, hey, yo, what's up? As you might have seen in our previous video, we're doing a massive format shift on this channel. I've decided that what's really important in life is learning, coming to a more complete understanding of the universe. And manga, as much fun as it is, doesn't really get me there. You know, it's a little too fictional. Um, so I spent the first episode of this new format talking about Hawking radiation and trying to get my head around the idea of negative energy. Largely unsuccessful, but eh. Um, but this episode we're gonna do something a little lighter, a little lighter reading. So I think all learning comes from wanting to understand causality. Okay, like we can observe the way things are now, but what we really want to look for is the why. Why have things arrived at the present state, such that we can maybe try to predict how things will continue developing into the future. So with physics, with stuff like this bullshit, um, we're trying to understand that on a very fundamental level. But that's not the only level that matters. Much of our lives is governed by just the actions of the people that came before us. So with that in mind, as the title suggests, we're going to learn about Napoleon. Um, what do I know about Napoleon already? Shockingly little. I like history. I'm not going to call myself like a history buff or anything, but I feel like there's not huge gaps in my knowledge. And then there's other areas where I think I know like a decent amount, but I very rarely like read history for the sake of reading history. It's more that I will learn about specific historic events, usually to like help understand a book that alludes to it or like reframes it, or to like understand something that like kind of continues into the modern day, you know, like something that kind of still matters. But when you really think about it on a big scale, like everything matters. And Napoleon, I feel like I can't really, even though it was like fairly recent. Okay, so what do I know about Napoleon? He was a French general that launched a very successful for a long time, but then ultimately defeated campaign to conquer pretty much all of Europe. He famously lost in the Battle of Waterloo, which the city I live in, it's its namesake, um, where he had like diarrhea, so he like wasn't able to command the battlefield. And I guess that made such a massive effect that this battle he went into expecting to win. And given that he was such a great general by all accounts, he probably had a pretty good reason to believe that he would win. But then he couldn't actually like help command the troops. So I think that's pretty funny. I would like to learn more crazy stuff like that about Napoleon. Um, this all happened in the late 1700s to early 1800s. The British hated him and said he was short. And then that led to the whole idea of Napoleon complex, which is this idea that short people sometimes have difficulty like not contextualizing things as slights against their height, and sometimes become kind of like megalomaniac as an overcompensation for what they see as a perceived lack of power. I don't know if that's like a real thing. I think it's like a really shitty thing to say about someone, like, oh, they have a Napoleon complex. Like, fuck you. Um, yeah, I know that he's not actually short, that he was actually just like average height for his time. I know that there's like a famous painting where he put his hand in his coat through his buttons instead of like in his pocket. It's cool. And he had the hat. And I know he was a really good general, and that there was like, you can say like stuff is like Napoleonic when it comes to like military strategy, but I don't know what that means. I know he was like exiled for a while, but I don't know why. I think it was like he tried to take over everything once before, and they stopped him, and then they kicked him off to some island, and then he just came back and did it again. I think something like that. I don't know why. I don't know anything about like his psychology. I don't know if he had like a Napoleon complex or what. I didn't know why he like wanted to take over everything. I don't know like what his like politics were. Like I don't know what kind of society he wanted to establish after he was done. Could have been like a communist utopia. Could have been like totalitarianism beatdown. I actually have no idea. Um, all this stuff, yeah. I want to find out stuff like this. So let's dive in. This is probably the best. This is probably the only thing we'll really need to do. Napoleon. What I would love. This is my dream. Did I not spell it right? What the hell was? Oh my god, Neopolitan. Stanley Kubrick, who's probably my favorite film director, was making a movie about Napoleon, and he was researching it like extremely exhaustively. It was going to be this huge, big battle, big budget epic about his entire campaign or whatever. Apparently, he had notes about literally every day of Napoleon's adult life, which he was using to kind of sketch out the movie. But somewhere in this research phase, before a script was written or before anything was starting to be filmed, his producers got word that there was another movie about Napoleon coming out, and they were like, you should just do something different. And he was like, oh, okay. He just threw it all in the trash. So I wish that movie had come out, because if that movie had come out, I would have watched it, and I would have been like, yeah, I'm a Napoleon expert, man. But instead, we gotta just go on Wikipedia and read an article. Oh my god, I still didn't spell it right. Napoleon Bonaparte, French statesman and military leader. Oh, okay. So yes, during the French Revolution, I should have mentioned that too. Yeah, there's the picture. He's putting his hand in his quirt. Kind of looks like my friend Eric Taylor. Vaguely. Anyways, if you watch my friend Color Thief during AGDQ and play Tetris, does that guy kind of look like Napoleon? Vaguely? I don't know. Anyways. It's Napoleon. He was Emperor of the French 1804 until 1814. Again briefly during the... One of the greatest commanders of history, and his wars and campaigns are studied in the military. From nobility. He goes to the ranks of the military. That's impressive. Okay, so this is almost like spoilers, reading this summary. It's a long summary, too. This is a long... Okay, at first I was like, let's just read this article. But it's a little too much. We'll just get a gist of it. French Bonaparte. Summon. After he became a general. Sure. Attorney, firm discipline restrained a rambunctious child. Tiny home. Military cabinet. States independence from France. Oh, that's interesting. Feeling bullied by his peers for his accent, birthplace, source, short. What? Really? I thought that was a myth. I'm losing knowledge. I'm down in what I thought I knew about Napoleon. What's been distinguished in mathematics? Make an excellent sailor. Yeah. Whoa! What? Whoa! You wrote a novella? Holy, I want to read that. I want to read Napoleon's book. A romantic novella. Holy. Oh, yeah. Interior course in 1 year. Oh. Now they're painting portraits of him at 23. Lieutenant Colonel. Okay, so he was like in the French army, which would have been controlled and on the side of the French royalty during the Revolution? Right? Wrong? So, wait a minute. During the later expansion. Yeah, the French Revolution's pretty crazy. Yeah. Translation's gonna be aggressive. Classic. Classic. Killed their king. We've all seen this picture. I think I have like a fridge magnet of this picture back at my parents' place. My dad's house. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I just wanted to know, like, when did the military switch sides? It kind of seems like, okay, well, we'll learn about it from Napoleon's perspective. Riot against French troops. Sure, it's drowning the throne of liberty in waves of blood. Such was the odious sight, which was the first to strike me. God damn! Napoleon! What a beast! French sabotage. Okay. Oh, Robespierre, yeah. This revolutionary guy. I guess it's this guy that I know. This is his little brother. Who painted this? This is nice. This is some kind of like Van Gogh kind of impressionist stuff going on. Brigadier General. French Army, Italy. Italy. Okay. This is kind of hard to follow. There's just like a lot of different places, a lot of different names. But okay, he was clearing out the royalty. I get that. And then they were going into Italy and stuff. Triumph. Such creative use of artillery as a mobile force to support his infantry. Fought 60 battles, and I have learned nothing which I did not know at the beginning. Look at Caesar. He fought the first like the last. Similar troop deployments and concentration of his force on the hinge if an enemy is weak in front. The idea of like there being strategy and actual military battles, like military tactics on this large scale, where it really starts to kind of feel almost analogous to a game of chess or shogi or whatever, is just mind-boggling to me. Or I guess the best example is like StarCraft or something. Like when I read something like this, it just doesn't seem like it can be real. It feels like reality must fall on either side of this. Either it's so like rigorously uh, presupposed such like a foregone conclusion that like kind of tactical choices wouldn't actually matter. It's like, well, we have like a bajillion people and you have 2 bajillion people, so you're just gonna roll us no matter what. That seems likely. Also likely is that it just becomes so chaotic and so hellish that nothing matters, and you're basically just flipping a coin. The fact that it's actually in that sweet spot in the middle where strategy can actually determine the outcome, and like kind of insightful reads trying to figure out where the hinge is, like this sort of thing, like the fact that this works is just crazy to me. It's really interesting. Wow. What are pitched battles? Is that where you're like on paper gonna lose? Whoa, what? You just like say it's like, okay, we're gonna fight here. That doesn't happen anymore, does it? It's crazy. They actually would just be like, all right, it's time for a battle. meet me here. French politics. They found 2 newspapers. Wow. Italy warned that he might become a dictator. Like, what? Wait, so what were they doing? They were gonna go try to, like, revolutionize Italy, too? It was all trying to free the sub-countries of Italy that wanted their own sovereignty. So they just came in and wrecked the Italy army that was kind of, like, forcing them to be part of the Italian state, I guess. But then they were like, well, we're going to take all this stuff, I guess, to fund their future endeavors, which they all thought was great. So at this point, yeah, wait, where were we? And they were talking about, no, we read this. Yeah, okay. Like this sort of, that's so crazy. Does this really happen? What the hell? Oh, that's crazy. That's pretty cool too. He brought along scientists and stuff to do sciencey stuff, and they discovered the Rosetta Stone. I didn't know that. That's awesome. The Rosetta Stone is this famous rock that has the same text written in a whole bunch of different ancient languages, and it's from this that we understand like a lot about how these ancient languages worked. I've seen it before in the British Museum. The British Museum doesn't give a fuck and just takes everything. And it's all in this one spot. It's sick. This is like the best museum I've ever been to. If you're ever in London, England, definitely check it out. Plan to spend at least half a day there. And on the pamphlet it shows you the must-sees, and we basically just did that and like stopped to look at stuff along the way if it looked interesting. I think that's a good way to do it. Because all of the must-sees are like really must-sees. Like when you get there, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm really glad we came to see this. Okay. Token resistance captured an important naval base. It's only 3 men. Wow. Practice their defensive tactics for the Battle of the Pyramids. Oh my god. Yeah, they're there in the background. This is crazy. There they are. And here we out here fighting our crazy pitched battle. Everybody just line up and kill each other, please. Don't send horse to fight boat. Even I know that horse won't beat boat. Look at this horse. They got what was the plan? What was the plan? What's the plan here? Boat doesn't care. Boat always beats horse. Mouth the original pyramids, faintly visible on the horizon. Wow. Crazy. They stomped them. Look at this. Well, I guess they had... Well, 2,000 total. They were down a little bit. But only 29 people died? And... Oh, peasants, but... God damn. Yeah, they wrecked them. Hollow rectangles. Okay. That's so crazy. It's just... It doesn't seem like... It seems like video games. Like, honestly, it's much easier to imagine this happening in a video game than happening in reality. Is this like the Nelson I've heard of? Lord Nelson, yeah. Okay, sure. So Bonaparte was Napoleon, pretty brutal. He this is like a lot of people died. I think this is funny. I can imagine being a person in France at the time, and everybody's all about, like, Napoleon's coming back, that guy's fucking awesome! And you're like, well, I don't know, man, I've been reading these, like, Egyptian newspapers, he's kind of getting washed down there. He kind of got, like, trunched by the British, and a bunch of his people got the plague, and, like, he just kind of, like, gave up and came back home, and they're like, no, Napoleon's fucking sick! It must be so frustrating, right? Rewritten by Napoleon. Said that by direct popular vote. Wow. See, like, these guys. Holy crap. Do you think that really happened? Do you think it was really that swingy? Or did he just know the right people? They're like, okay, it's time to count the votes. And they're like, 1 million for Napoleon. How many votes against? 0. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, it was the 1700s. It's not like they had really scientific polling for like a popular vote among the citizens of France. This doesn't seem possible. I don't know, I guess they probably just love Napoleon. Like I said, it's probably the vast majority of people loved him. And then these like whiners, well, actually, maybe this guy's not so great. I guess he was pretty great though. Like, sure, some of this stuff didn't go so well. And maybe he did some pretty awful things. But he won some, too. He won quite a few. Constitution preserved the appearance of a republic, but in reality established a dictatorship. Dictatorship by plebiscite. So the plebiscite was the ancient system where like the plebes all got their vote. They had their day in court, and there's whole sorts of stuff about how like the original emperors, Caesar and Augustus and stuff. I don't want to summarize all this, but the plebiscite is like it always seems like it's a good idea. They're like, you get a vote too. And then it's like, but they were immediately manipulated to work against their own best interests. And it looks like this happened again. Another electoral consolidation. Yeah, see? He's like, you get to vote. And then a rigged plebiscite held the following year. 3 million people had participated in the plebiscite. The real million was 1.5 million. Voting number at about 5 million people. So artificially double the participation rate to indicate popular enthusiasm for the concept. They just got away with it. They just did it. Okay. Oh, opposing the hand inside the waistcoat was often used in portraits of rulers to indicate common stable leadership. Yeah, I can get that. Just kind of hanging out. Get your hand in there. You're not like you know, you don't have the hand on the sword, the hand on the gun. You'll have to, like, you know, take it out, reach around, grab the thing, and then shoot. So obviously you don't think you're going to need to shoot anytime soon. Yeah. Okay. Very tenuous. Let's choose classes of Italy. Okay. So they just started rolling through Italy. Numerical advantage. Rotating and trying to retreat. Route out among the troops. Everything's gonna stand and fight. Wow. You're a real one for that. That's pretty crazy. Critics have blamed Napoleon. Critics. I can just imagine, like, the Pitchfork review of, like, the Italian campaign. And it's, like, a 6.4 or something. And they're like, you know, I liked when he rode his horse around. That was a good track. Several tactical mistakes, so I'm not really going to include this on any best campaigns of the year list or whatever. It's the word critics. I think it's so funny. Single. Wow. Almost obtaining the object of the campaign, the conquest of North Italy. Okay. Temporary peace and understanding. Huge numbers to approve the Constitution and make the Constitution permanent. Elevation dictator for life. Wow, amazing. That's incredible. Referendum incited. I have to openly defy the regime. Yeah, so this doesn't seem like a good way to do it. If you have to vote against the people in power, you have to do it in public. And there's probably people with guns all over the place. And they're like, you gonna go vote? Are you gonna vote for me or against me? I don't know if I'm behind this plebiscite. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this word. Plebiscite, I guess? Plebiscite? French people name, the Senate proclaims Napoleon Bonaparte first consul for life. If I did this, Napoleon rather than Bonaparte. Yeah, here they're calling him Bonaparte, and then in this section they start calling him Napoleon. So I guess that's why? I don't know. French colonies abroad. Oh! Who's this guy? There's a swan song. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. This is a banger. It's long as hell. But it's a banger. And you got insightful lyrics like this. Ah. Oh. Ah. Oh. Freedom from home. Yeah, so I guess it's about this guy. What was his deal? He became a dictator. Not abolishing slavery, any of the colonies. So he's like, alright, I guess we'll bring slavery back so that the British people aren't mad at us. Oh, and the Louisiana Purchase. I knew about that. He sold it. Yeah, that's enough. Oh yeah, the Haitian Rebellion. Huh. When does he get exiled? Or did I just like make that up? Is that somebody else? I thought he like went away for a while. And then he just came back and did everything again. So I'm trying to assassinate him. because everyone's always trying to assassinate people like this. Justify the creation of an imperial system based on the Roman model. Emperor of the French, vitality reaching. Yeah, these referendums. More now by the term of the resolution. Look for the domination of an able ruler. Well, okay, I guess maybe people were genuinely into it. Like, I can kind of follow this logic. We've just had a big revolution. We've been at war for the better part of the century. Actually, for like the entire century, as it was. Not for a century, but for the, whatever, the 19th century. It's like, let's just leave it up to Napoleon. That guy seems to be doing a good job. And this is sort of, I think, where the Napoleon character in Animal Farm serves as analogy, right? That it's like they are loving of him. They want him to lead them. They genuinely believe he's doing the right thing for them. But if you've read Animal Farm, you know that things get a little more complicated than that. So you got a crown. Replica of Charlemagne's crown. Wow. On top of subviews. Wraith. Let's look at this painting. Ooh, banger. I love it. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Like this kid. It's probably like someone... All of these are like actual famous people. I think that's so cool. Well, maybe not these people. Maybe these are just like background characters. But I would guess even all these people are like specific actual people. Maybe? I don't know. It's just my guess. And this is La Pieta, isn't it? Or it's a La Pieta. Or however you pronounce that. Yeah, it's not the La Pieta, but it's... Yeah. No, this is nice. I just really like the framing of it. The kind of rule of thirds you got going on here is nice. The kind of focus of action. It's not like as if you're focusing on it so much. It's more just like, this is... I don't know if I can put it into words. Okay, anyways. They declared war on France again. They signed an alliance with Russia. And Austria wants revenge. Sick of getting beaten up by France. Okay, military stuff. Can't fight the British Navy. This is like a common theme. The British Navy just like crushes everything. It's a decoy. It's a trap. Brian's... I think this is kind of interesting too. Feverish marching. So basically the only way this plan was going to work is if they outpaced the informational response, right? Where even if they were able to predict that, okay, if they secretly attack this place and try to outspeed the Russian allies, they couldn't be marching that feverishly. But this is I think a common theme of a lot of historic events, is like people just kind of go beyond expectations. You kind of like are able to just actually push people to like an impossible place, and something crazy happens. Strategic masterpiece. That's cool. I'd like to learn more about this, but we gotta keep moving. Maybe some other time. I like this idea. Strategic masterpiece. That's cool. That's cool. I wonder if there's like a wiki list of like most strategically beautiful battles. Napoleon's many victories. French Empire defeated the Third Coalition. So this is like Napoleon's like golden years. Previous ones seem more mixed, but here Napoleon is on like a huge roll. French Empire is crushing. Battle. Ooh, is the finest of all I have fought. Ooh, cool, cool. Wow, so Austria immediately just gives in. They're like, okay, we don't want to be in this war anymore. Wow. He lost touch with reality. What used to be French foreign policy became a personal Napoleonic one. Hmm. Hmm. It's like, I saw a funny article that was like, Drake has lost touch with reality. Yeah, we definitely lost Drake. I think this is such a good headline. Okay, we definitely lost Drake. Yeah, too famous to be in touch with reality threshold. I think this music video is nice and fun, but I definitely get what they're talking about here. It's a good song though too. Bodied the ambitions of 30 million Frenchmen. Okay. Alliance with the Ottoman Empire. Sincere and natural ally. Ooh, this is a cool one. This is... I love the paintings where they're like hanging out in a gallery and then they have to paint the painting that they're hanging out in front of. There he is with his hand in his shirt. Can't even get his hand out of his shirt to meet the Ottoman Emperor. I was gonna look at this one too. It's pretty good. Nice clouds. Ooh, nice beams. He's got his hand out of his shirt and just... Okay. Okay, alright. Oh yeah, I knew this. He made his brother the King of Spain. Starts putting people places. F's up Madrid. Some guerrilla warfare. No more pitch battles. No more lining up at a time and place to fight. But we fighting in the jungles. I'm getting tired. Yeah. Oh yeah, they start going into Russia. It's crazy. Never win a land war in Russia. It's a meme. Yeah. Can't handle the Russian winter. Nobody can handle the Russian winter. Ooh, grumpy Napoleon. Going a little bald. Oh, here we go. Alright. So I guess he starts losing. He lost big in Russia. Napoleon was then forced to announce his unconditional abdication only 2 days later. Wow, there's like a political cartoon! Oh my god! He's riding on a donkey backwards. Getting kicked out into Elba. Wow. Oh my god, that's like so brutal. You can have this. Attempted suicide. Wow. Well, that sounded mean. But no, that's just crazy. It's crazy that this all actually happened. And it just didn't work. Survived to be exiled. Small navy and army, developed the iron mines. He did it. He was like really, okay, I'm gonna be the emperor of this island. I know you guys did it as a joke. But I'm really gonna do it. I'm gonna be the emperor of Fly Country. It's a pretty big island. It's in a really nice spot, Tuscany. It's amazing that he wasn't just like, alright, this place is pretty nice. I'm just gonna kick back and relax. No, he's gonna develop the iron mines. That's what he wants to do. I think it's still been 2 days. Okay. Ooh, so they're gonna banish him from Elba. They like saw him working on those iron mines, and they're like, okay, let's let him go. Dismounted his horse. He's within gunshot range. He shouted to the soldiers, "Here I am. Kill your emperor if you wish. Vive l'empereur!" Wow. Wow. Okay, so he's just back. That's amazing. He comes back, and everyone's just like, shit, yeah, no, let's do it again. We're ready to fight with Napoleon again. Wow, he got 200,000 people. From... So he escaped in February, in the end of February, okay, and then 22 days later, from running off in Elba by stowing away in a ship with 700 men, he's up to 200,000 men again. Alright, and then this is where things don't go well, I'm pretty sure. Did I make up the poopy thing too? Is that just like a myth? Well, I guess I was right about the exile. I guess I wasn't right about his height. Maybe that was like a real thing. I don't know. What about toilet? Poop. Stomach. This guy felt sick in the stomach. Sick. Oh, maybe that's not true. I thought that was true. I feel like I read that somewhere. But there's a lot of like pop history books that just blatantly make stuff up. And they're just like, yeah, isn't that funny? It just didn't happen. But the stuff that did happen is already so interesting. You don't have to make stuff up. Anyways, so he lost at Waterloo. He comes back and people have had enough. So he's like, well, here you can have my son. So they're trying to get... The coalition forces are trying to put Louis the 18th back on the throne. They want to go back to monarchy because they all have monarchies, I guess. And they don't want people getting all worked up about the idea of a republic. So then the Prussian troops tries to go to the United States. They put him on this tiny ass island way out here. Wow. They exile him again. You dictate his memoirs, grumbled about conditions. A book about Julius Caesar and some English. No serious attempts were made. I know, I've read some Byron. Franz Larney, Ted Darney, Josephine. He made a death mask of him. Okay. Religion. I don't really care about that. He arrested the Pope. Okay. Personality. Hypnotic effect on people, seemingly bending the strongest leaders to his will. In that regard, innovator using financial being. Cheated at cards. Tinted. Give me lucky generals. Okay. Kind of get. I think I get it a lot more. Okay, this is what I was curious about too. What would he actually want to do? And then for my civic code. Napoleonic code. Yeah, okay. This is good. This is good. I'm definitely pro this. End of feudalism. Good. That sucks. Down with feudalism. Well, I'm not a huge fan of this, but I guess it's better than before, which was just like kingdoms, right? Totally feudal and totally in the ownership and control of a monarch. Meritocracy, equality before the law, property rights, religious toleration, modern secular education, sound finances, and so on were championed. Consolidation, codified, and geographically expanded by Napoleon. Cool. I thought so. I thought he was like that team, and that most of his stuff was like down with the really arbitrary and unfair monarchist worldview. Close the Jewish ghettos and make Jews. Let's go. Let's go, Napoleon. Yeah. Yeah. Seems so like obvious. Oh. Oh, wow. Let's go. The metric system, baby. Thanks, Napoleon. This is good too. I think this is really important. I think it's something that gets pooped on a lot just because of flaws in the standard model we do have that lead people to think like it would be better if it was just like a free-for-all and that teachers would be more free, but no. Really, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I don't want to be too down on the school I went to, but it was a very small school and it was very rural. And I really feel like if we were given free reign, that if the teachers just taught what they wanted to teach and what they thought the students would want to know, I would learn about like farming and God. That's it. And probably it would have been that way for like generations. But instead I learned all the same stuff that a kid in downtown Toronto would learn. And that happened to be the stuff that I was a lot more interested in. Not to say that farming isn't important, but, you know, anyways, yeah, standardized education. I'm like 100% for that. Yeah, good. Memory and evaluation. So, maybe it's somewhere in between, don't you think? Yeah, like this seems pretty terrible. But it said earlier that he was mainly doing that to appease England. So it's like if he just wants to avoid war where people are just going to kill each other en masse, I think a lot of things can feel justifiable. I don't know if slavery is one of them. I think fighting wars to end slavery is probably worth in a lot of cases, but yeah, yeah. Like I was saying, the British Museum is just full of stuff. Noble dream, wholly dissimilar from. Yeah, it's true. Uh, hmm. Yeah, see, it seems like England was the aggressor in my skimming, way more often than France. And that it was in direct response to the fact that France had this revolution. And they're just really freaked out by it. Propaganda. This is pretty funny. only only 43 years apart. They're like, yeah, fuck that painting. Here's how it really went down. And they're like, you know what? He probably did put his hand in his coat like that, though. Yeah, he did do that, but he was pretty sad about it. Whereas this guy, like, goddamn, he just jumped over the Alps. Go there, horse! And the horse giddied up. And there was a rock with his name on it. Okay. That's Napoleon. I feel like I learned a lot. I think. Hope you learned a lot too. We'll look forward to more learning to come. That's what this channel is now.